right, everyone. Welcome to the podcast, the Unnamed Podcast. It's unnamed because we actually have a choice of two names. See, yesterday when we were live, we were suggesting names for our podcast. If I'm correct, right? We decided to call it Sleep OVR or Sleep Over, but like OVR instead of no E. There's no E in the over, so it's just VR. It was pretty clever, if I do say so myself. But then somebody suggested that we should name our podcast Clipcast.
The Super Happy Fun podcast of Super Happy Fun.
Let's give a warm welcome to our guest.
We were really starting without her, huh?
Our guest, POPONVR.
Hey.
POPONVR.
Hi.
There's a crowd cheering right now. I have a soundboard and there's some crowd cheering.
Well, there's no sound.
You can't hear it. You can't hear it. Only they can hear it.
Hello.
All right, I'll do it again. Wrong. Hold on. Shit, I fucked it up.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I played the crowd cheering sound, and immediately after the baby crying sound started playing. But, you know, we roll with the punches. See, Gamer should be doing all this.
Yes.
But you know, she's not here. So
everyone say hi, Gamer.
Shut up.
Pop.
It feels wrong without Gamer. It feels wrong without word.
It feels really awkward. It's just two.
Scratch all
two
that.
Dudes in an empty chair.
Two dudes in an empty chair. It's just like where's the host? Okay, let's talk. Okay, listen. Let's talk about what have we done recently. Let's talk about Magic Mike.
Oh, okay.
You want to talk about Magic Mike?
I actually had a topic where we could just start off, but you've just ran with it. You've taken the fucking script, thrown it out the window, and you're like, let's talk about Magic Mike. Why would you like to talk about Magic Mike?
Because we're talking about Magic Mike because it has no relevancy towards the actual recording.
You want to know why he wants to talk about Magic Mike? Because we watched Magic Mike 2 and 3 last night after the podcast. We stayed up till 7 a.m. and we watched Magic Mike 2 and 3.
I'm starting a new life. A new leaf is being turned. My virtual reality career is going from content creator to a male entertainer.
I keep clicking on the fucking empty chair pin. Every time when I'm trying to swap between me and you, I accidentally go through the empty chair one because Gamer's not here.
Hey, everyone say hi to Gamer.
We're going to get to us, but first we're going to talk about you, right?
Me.
How did you get into VR?
When did the PlayStation VR come out? Do you know? Whenever the PlayStation VR came out, my uncle got it. And when Beat Saber came out, I was over at their house and we were looking through the PlayStation store, looking at games, VR games. That night, I played Beat Saber for, oh God, I think I played for like 4 hours at his house. And I was in love. And then I went home and I looked at PC VRs because I was like, I don't have a PlayStation 4. Then I got an HTC Vive for, I think it's $500 or was it $300? No, I think it's $500. And then I just played Beat Saber. And then one night it was 3 a.m. I went on the Steam store and I downloaded VRChat because it was one of the top games. I joined the Great Pug.
Top games. VRChat.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was. I joined the Great Pug. And the first experience I had in VRChat, this girl told me to uninstall the game. She was a full body user. She said, she literally looked at me as a robot and said, you need to uninstall this game. I said, it's my first night. Like, what do people do on this game? I was just like, I would go up to groups and just say hi, like 10 times. If they didn't reply to me, I would just keep saying hi.
When I got on VR, someone actually told me to quit the game too. And
we did not listen.
Just to carry on this trend, anytime I find out somebody else is in this game and this is their first day in VR chat, I tell them to quit the game.
I think I also do this.
Yeah, so I think honestly it's come full circle.
I played every night after that. I thought it was the most fun thing ever. And that person that told me to quit doesn't play anymore. She's gone. She quit.
Because they quit the game.
She quit. And a month after playing half body, I met a bunch of people and they were all full body. And I felt so left out. And it's kind of true when I would try to talk to people in half body, like no one gave a shit about me. It was sad. And I didn't have a cool looking avatar either.
My experience is I never played in desktop.
I never played desktop either.
So like I never had the experience of like going through desktop, getting fucking donut-walled by everybody in the world, and then feeling so bad that nobody wants to talk to you that you force your parents to buy you a VR, right? Or somebody else willing to buy it for you.
Yeah, I started half body. I did not.
Yeah,
play desktop.
so I started half body for one day, and then I told the story yesterday, but like day 2 I got full body.
Yeah, I know. I was like, no, wait, don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Oh my God, look at this.
No.
Goon. He's got clicked on the chair. Turn your chairs off, asshole.
They're off now. Okay.
All right.
Oh my God, that was 3 years ago. We are still playing this game.
That was okay. You know why? That's crazy because year 1 of VRChat for me was like one entire friend group. Year 2 was Yiddies, and year 3 was Club Kids.
Really? So
Yeah.
year 1 for me, they didn't really have a name. It was just like 6 people or 7 people. They just were in the Great Pug every single day. After that group was pretty much when I met you.
Is your first group the group that you ditched your IRL or Minecraft friends for?
A lot of people don't know this, but okay. I mean, I don't know how you guys would know, but I have a different group outside of VR. So before VR, I have a friend group that's very close. We've all known each other for like 8 years. And then when I got into VR, I met another group. And then so I would just hang out with them because I was so addicted to VRChat. The IRL group or the, friends from Minecraft that I knew for 8 years. I didn't stop talking to them, but I talked to them a lot less. I used to talk to them every single day for like 12 hours. And then when I got into VRChat, I just started talking. I tried to balance both, but it's literally physically impossible. I'm just gonna throw that out there. It's so hard to balance 2 friends.
This is what I'm talking about when Pop is a
groups.
piece of shit, right? Because he had friends for 8 fucking years. 8 years he played Minecraft with them. They were his ride or dies, and he ditched them for VRChat kids. Hey Pop,
Okay.
would you like to elaborate?
Put the camera back onto me.
It's on you. And
Okay.
I'm so glad it's on you because Gamer just spawned right in the middle of
Okay. Listen.
Yeah.
I did not ditch them. I still talk to them every single day. Okay. I only disappeared for like 50, actually not like 70% of the time. But it is hard to balance 2 friend groups, I think.
So tell us how your friends reacted.
Oh my God, they bullied me.
Your VR experience.
They literally bullied me. Okay, so the first friend group, I tried. I don't know if anyone's ever done this, but if you try to merge friend groups, it is so difficult. It's so difficult because the 8 years all didn't play VRChat. They did not care at all. And then the VRChat group, they just didn't know the other friend group. So trying to merge them is impossible. So what I did back then, I was like, hey, do you guys want to join my server? And then you guys can meet my friends and blah, blah, blah. And it was the worst decision of my entire life. The IRL friend group did not like the VRChat friend group. And then they just kicked all of them out. So basically, all the VRChat people that ever joined our Discord, and this is where Tay's gonna come in. And they had the worst.
I think I should explain this to you. But you continue. You continue until you're ready.
First, VRChat friend group set a very bad. They had a bad rep in the IRL Discord, and then Tay, you can hop in.
All right. So, what is bad rep, right? See, I know this whole story because I've been through it. So this VRChat, this friend group, IRL friend group that Pop knows and introduced me to, I'm actually friends with all of them now, IRL as well, because we actually, I've been on a couple trips with Pop and them IRL multiple times, so I've met a lot of them. So I feel like I like to think of me as one of their own at this point. It wasn't always like that. Is because Pop had the bright idea to invite all his VRChat friends from year 1.
Yeah,
before he knew me. So this all happens before I existed. Like this is like baby Tay in VRChat, right? Not knowing Pop, just minding his business in full body and Midnight Rooftops. Meanwhile, Pop met a friend group. He invites all his friends, right, to this Discord.
It was a shit show.
All his friends, his IRL friends, soon realize that they only ever joined the Discord call for Pop just to say hi,
just to
and
bother
then
me.
leave.
Yeah, they
just
were
to say hi, say something stupid, completely like dumb, and then leave. And they wouldn't acknowledge anybody in the call. I guess at some point, I mean, even if it was me, I'd be annoyed, and I guess all his IRL friends just got annoyed. They started removing them, but there were a few, I guess, right? There were a few that stayed around.
There was a few that made it through. Yeah. Because they never joined. Gamer actually just joined the world, so we'll take a little tactical pause.
Gamer's running around.
Gamer, take your seat.
She's not sitting in her seat.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce our host.
Can you take a seat, please?
She's finally here. She was being productive.
Guys, our host is finally here. 20 minutes in the podcast. They're 20 minutes late, but they're here. Welcome, Gamer.
Hi.
Gamer has her little iPad. She's keeping the point of Gamer being here is she's keeping an eye on the chat because I see a lot of you guys saying things and because me and Pop are conversing. I'm not really paying attention to chat too much, but that's Gamer's job. See her little iPad? Show them your iPad, Gamer. This is Gamer's little iPad. She's paying attention to the chat. Questions, any points you'd like to make, Gamer will be keeping an eye and she'll determine if anything is worth being brought up.
I would have been here earlier, but I went to go get apple pie.
You have apple pie right now. Like you
no,
can take a bite.
I ate it right before. I have chips though.
Where were we?
We were at the part where, Pop, his old VRChat friend group, who he invited to his IRL friend group, Discord, the Discord of all of them merged together.
Yeah.
His IRL friends hated VRChat kids. They determined that all VRChat kids should die.
Well, not that, but they were just not. They're the right fit. Okay, don't use that word.
All right.
They were not the right fit. They didn't mesh well together.
Pop's friends, right? They're kind of like me, but like maybe a little bit worse, where they're massive trolls. They're huge trolls. Pop is also a troll, but he doesn't show it. But they
I'm
will
not a troll.
do out of pocket things just for a laugh, right? So you need to imagine the setting that we're in. These VRChat kids who don't go outside, they're being brought into this Discord of bullies. They're just IRL bullies, and they judge you. Right? So fast forward now, they've deleted all VRChat kids from their Discord server. They told Pop that if you ever bring another VRChat kid in the server, I will castrate you?
Yeah.
They'd send him back to China. That's what they said.
They literally said,
yep, send him back to China. Right?
Shout out to Blake. Hey, Blake. Hey, Tyler. That's good, guys.
Anyways, so fast forward now. Okay, I'm gonna come back to the beginning of this story of how we met, but I'm just gonna skip to we already met, and then I'll come back to it later. So me and Pop already met, blah blah blah. And he invites his other friend. So Pop actually had some of his IRL friends in that Discord also had VR headsets. There was Duncan, Unarmed, and Unhappy, and Taryn. So it wasn't when I met Pop, I actually met him and some of his other friends from that Discord, his IRL friends. Right? They all had VRs. The ones that I met thought I was cool, so they invited me to the Discord. Right? And because it was multiple of them, not just Pop inviting me, like they let it slide. Right? Now there was a bit. Right, in this Discord, and it just so happened to be the same bit that we had with our small friend group. It was Tay, Ellie, Emma, right?
All on New Year's.
And there's another Tay, by the way. So my name was Tay, and there was another Tay, but she was Girl Tay.
We
called her Girl Tay, and they called me Guy Tay.
Yep.
Right, and then there was Emma, Ellie, Duncan, Unhappy, Unarmed, Taryn, Pop. I think that was it.
Whole
squad. Yeah, there's a whole squad, right?
Podcast?
So
no, we're not doing a podcast.
He said, "So you doing a podcast?" Colors. We talked about you the last episode, but yes, we're starting.
You're in the first episode, buddy.
With my beanbag.
Where's our footage?
Hey, buddy. This is on you, okay? We did this shit because you didn't fucking upload our podcast.
Yeah.
About it. We talked about the last episode. Don't worry, we'll bring you on. But let me get through the story. And within our friend group, like the people I mentioned, we had this bit where everyone was like, "Fuck Duncan." It was just like a thing we said. Like anytime something happened, anytime like some mild inconvenience happened, we'd just be like, "Fuck Duncan." You know what I mean? Like, just blame it on Duncan.
You just have that one friend. You have the one friend that everyone bullies.
That same bit was something that they did just by coincidence. We didn't even know that they did in their server. They also did the same thing. So Duncan was just that guy.
Yeah,
he was just that guy. If anything, if you stubbed your fucking toe, you'd say, "Fuck Duncan."
Yep,
right?
Exactly.
He was just that guy. When we went to the server, we saw that they were just flaming Duncan. Just the general server was just flaming Duncan for no obvious reason. But we were all down for it. We're like, you know what? I can get behind
this. Actually, I know why he was being flamed. He was talking to the VR group more than the IRL group. That's why I got flamed.
So while Duncan is getting bullied in this general chat, I jump in, right? And so does Tay, Emma, and Ellie, all the VRChat kids who made it through. We jumped in. And they jumped in after me because I streamed the Discord to them in a call. I was like, yo, check this shit out. So I'm streaming to them in the call. Duncan was in the call with us too. So I guess
Unarmed was in your guys' call too.
So I guess Duncan mentioned that I was streaming it to them to bully him more. He's like, "God damn, you guys are making me get bullied more." Blah blah blah. All outside of this group, right? They took what he said as me streaming the Discord and said, "God damn, these fucking VRChat kids streaming." What the hell? This is why I didn't want you.
That's Blake.
This is why I didn't want them in this Discord to begin with. I fucking hate VRChat kids. So then I got bullied. I got bullied by all these IRL friends in this Discord. So I was literally 1v9ing, and then eventually they just kicked me. They removed me, and they all fucking hated me. They all hated me, and now we need to fast forward to when they started liking me. Why they started liking me.
You want to go to Vegas?
We can go to Vegas. We can go to Vegas. Well, okay, before we go to Vegas, Vegas is the point where they actually started liking me. But before we get to that, how do we meet Pop Shooter? I want to get through this first before we go to the real.
So you guys have heard about Duncan on. You guys heard about the IRLs, right? So this is actually good. It lines it up. In 2017, we went to TwitchCon, and the IRLs wanted to try VR because I was so addicted. I don't think you guys understand. That's when I was playing Beat Saber. I was playing Beat Saber every single day, and I was streaming to them and everything. So 2017, it was in California, so I just drove. I legitimately packed my HTC Vive up. I had a gaming laptop. I said, yo, you guys are going to try VR for the first time. This is going to be crazy. You're going to be mind blown, right? So I let them all play Beat Saber. After TwitchCon, they have headsets. I have headsets. I go, guys, I've been playing VRChat. let's go. Right? It's time. And then so we're all playing VRChat now. And we learned about FPT Heaven, aka the best world ever. I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking at you guys right now. Next thing we know, we see this tiny, lolly avatar shuffling at the mirror. This is no joke. And lo and behold, Tay from Canada is playing music out of his microphone. And I was so mind blown. Every full body person in Great Pug, they didn't play music, they didn't dance. They just talked. They just talked about life. You'd join a Great Pug and be like, oh, you'd hear all about life and drama. Not even drama, actually. You would just hear about life. It was very interesting. It wasn't until FBT Heaven until I started hearing about drama. I just see this guy shuffling, and I had full body, and I was also in a lolly avatar. My main was a tiny banana boy. He had bananas on his shirt. He was literally like this big, maybe.
No, bigger than that.
Okay, it was like this big.
It was half your size.
It was like this big. It was like the size of my leg.
Pop doesn't know how to gauge size. Anyways, continue.
Okay, all right. It was like this big. Okay, I just thought it was so interesting. So I just started wiggling, and then Tay, being himself, just was like, "Yo, what's up?" And me and all my friends were like hyping him up. He was like hyping up my horrid dancing.
I remember this vividly, right?
Yeah,
so I'm like
going.
at the mirror, and back then FPT, the way it was set up, I don't know, there might be people in this chat or watching this who know what FPT looks like now. This was way back when FPT, the mirror was behind the stage. Like, right, you go up the stage, up the fucking, to the left, the mirror is like right there. I'm like dancing with music blasting in my ears, shuffling, and then I hear Pop's stupid voice coming up. He's like, hey, you got the music, right? And then he peeks his head out. He's like, oh, hey, that guy's going in, right? And then he starts going in, and then all his friends come in and we're all like fucking vibing and shit. And this is when I thought Pop was cool, right? Before I knew the real Pop shooter, right? So we're all like vibing and shit, right? Dancing, right? Getting it. We're doing this little thing. Pop does this dance move. He does it all the time. I'll show you. He does this thing where he's like,
yeah.
This is like go-to dance move. He's like, right? That's what he was doing. I was dancing there because I met Tay, Emma, and Ellie. They were like this trio of friends that came from Xbox. They played VR, so they came from Xbox to VRChat. I met them because girl Tay came up to me, saw my name was Tay from Canada, and said, "Hey, Tay from Canada. I'm also Tay from Canada," because she's also from Canada. And so that's when we started hanging out. And like the day after is when I met Pop, Duncan, and his friend group, right? And so we just merged, and then we became like this small VRChat friend group. That's where my life, I feel like, on VRChat really started. Was like when I met that group of people. Because then I started this group called Yiddies. I don't know if some of you are familiar with that. It's like this huge like drinking group. I started it with Tay, Emma, Ellie, and this guy named Fox. It just like it's been exploding over the past 2 years. Right, we've gone on many trips together, which is going into our next topic of the Vegas trip. So I started this group of Yiddies, right? After getting kicked out of their group, they didn't want me, right? We started this new group called Yiddies. It was Tay's personal server that she started to make a new VRChat friend group because she just started playing VR. And she's like, I'm going to make a friend group, right? And she called it Yiddies. And the reason why she called it Yiddies is because when she came to the world of FPT, I asked her why she's here, and she said, I'm just here to see some Yiddies, bro. And it just stuck. It stuck from that point on, right? This girl was called Yiddies, and it grew into something astronomical because we just started inviting people from the community, and they started getting more and more involved, and now it's this huge. I would say it's even on par with drinking night. If you know Yiddies, shout out Yiddies in the chat. Now this is going back to when this hateful group of Pop's IRL friends started to like me, right? And the reason they started to like me is by pure chance. And they don't believe me, but I will say it to the day I die, pure chance, all right? Because the Yiddies group decided to plan a trip to Vegas the exact same days that Pop and his IRL friend group decided to plan a trip to Vegas. So we went to Vegas
literally
the same set of days that they went to Vegas, IRL.
The same
right?
exact
and because
days.
I was friends with Pop and Duncan, I said, hey, we should meet up. And Pop, in his back of his mind, was like, my friends fucking hate these kids. They don't want to meet anybody
Yeah,
from VR.
dude. I tried to convince them. I said, you guys can stay at the Airbnb, but Duncan and I are going. I said to Duncan, I was like, we're going to meet them at some point because your guys' Airbnb was actually close, I think.
Yeah,
this was 2 years ago, by the way.
This was 2 years ago.
Was it 3
we were
or 2?
staying pretty close to them.
God.
See, the IRL friend group to this day still doesn't believe me. They think that we followed them. They say, you fucking weird VRChat kids, you followed us there. Right? But anyways, I genuinely was coincidental. And the reason I was coincidental
dude, I know.
is because we made the announcement in ED saying, hey, we're going to Vegas on these days. Anybody who's willing to come, let us know. And because they were in the ED's Discord, they said, hey, dude, ain't no fucking way. We're going to Vegas in the exact same days.
Dude, no, I know. Oh my God. You guys actually planned it a week before, but Becky could not get work off. So you pushed it 1 week and that landed on our week. That is literally facts. I'm like 99.9% sure Becky couldn't get the work off. Becky is what is it, Yiddy, or no, does she still play? I don't even know what Becky does.
Yeah, I talked to her the other day actually.
Becky's a girl that basically, I don't know if she organized it, but she was like one of the people that was like, let's go to Vegas.
Because I had just gone over my internship, so I had lots of money saved up because I did an internship with like a SNC Electric, which is like an electrical company in Canada. And I was like, dude, I have a lot of money and I've never been on a trip anywhere. Literally, I never went outside of Canada before this. I was like, I've never been outside of Canada. I was like, I just want to go. And Becky lived near Vegas. She's like, let's go to Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And
okay,
literally
got it.
within like an hour, like we planned this whole trip out. Like, we're going to Vegas, and we actually did it. Right, we set the dates, everything. But then Becky couldn't get the work off those dates, so we just pushed it back 1 week. And it just turns out that Pop and Duncan were there too.
It was crazy.
So now we get to Vegas. We do really want to meet Pop and Duncan. We want to meet them. The rest of their group doesn't want to meet us, but we don't know this, by the way. Pop kept this to himself and so did Duncan.
Yeah.
We didn't know till after that their group hated our fucking guts and did everything they possibly could to stay away from us. Right? And so
it sounds so bad.
So Duncan is in contact with us. Pop decided to stay out of it. He's like, you know what, my friend. I
did my classic, by the way. Just like in episode 1, I disengaged.
He disengaged. He basically said, okay, if we meet him, we meet him. If we don't meet him, whatever. My friends hate him anyways. So he was like, he was down to meet us, but at the same time, his life wouldn't be over if he didn't meet us. Duncan, on the other hand, spent a lot of time with us, more time than Pop did. So he wanted to meet us, really, genuinely. So he tried to meet up with us outside of his friend group. So he actually came and met us. Once he met us, he decided he was really drunk because when you're in Vegas, I don't drink personally, but when you're in Vegas, everyone around you is drunk. It's the only state, I think, or like city or whatever, where you're allowed to have open containers of alcohol, walking around with alcohol drinking, right? It's legal. It's legal.
Right. Yes.
It's legal to drink in public in Vegas, right? So this motherfucker is drunk as hell, walking around Vegas, finds us, decides to bring us back to his friend group, and we didn't know that they didn't want to meet us, right? So we go meet their friend group. They're all look fucking like, what the hell is going on? Like, who are these people? And I see Pop. Okay, there's like a lot of like details for this next part. So I'll go one by one. I see Pop. I'm like, excited to meet Pop. I'm like, yo, Pop. Like, I can't believe
it's me, Tay. It's me, Tay.
And back then, like me and Pop weren't as close. Like we were friends. We hung out sometimes.
Yeah, we just talked to each other. It was like, yeah.
My fucking vision, right, of Pop. It was like,
I'll reenact it. I'll reenact it.
You want to reenact it. You reenact it. So I expect it to be amazing, an amazing moment, meeting another fellow VR chatter from across the continent. I'm like, yo, Pop, it's me, Tay. He looks up at me, Pop. He looks up at me. What did you do? He's just like that. In his fucking seat at the slot machine. He's like, oh, hey.
I was at the slot machine. I had lost like $30 on the slot machine.
Pop, what is wrong?
I was not
losing money. This motherfucker was feeding bills into the machine, spamming the spin button, and just going next. Like he would lose, feed another bill in, hit the button, go next. Feed a bill in, and he was just losing. He was just losing money.
It's not smart. Right? Slot machines are not good.
So my first ever time meeting Pop Shooter was him in a pit of despair, losing all his money. Right? At the same time, Duncan was drunk out of his mind, right? Fumbling all over the casino, and the rest of his IRL friends were eyeing us like, who the fuck are these kids, right? He looked at me. He had this friend. His name is Shaban. He's a really cool dude. I like Shaban a lot. Now that I've met him many times on all these other trips, right? He looked at me. He looked at our friend Jack. He said that we looked like the only two normal people out of the whole entire group of people, and said, and I was wearing let up shoes at the time. I had let up shoes. Right, like they're not Skechers, but they're like the LED shoes. He said, "Let up shoes and big man get to come with us. Everybody else has to go." Right? Is that what he said?
He said they're cool. This wasn't the nightclub night. So this was like a Friday midday, or it might have been nighttime actually. But it was Saturday night where we were going out to a club, a rooftop club, because it was kind of during the end of COVID. A lot of them were out, outside. So Duncan is texting. Who was he messaging? I don't know. He was messaging somebody in Tay's group. And then the IRL friends overheard it. And they're like, light up shoes can go and the big guy can go. And everyone else has to stay home. It wasn't like that mean, but it was like
And
light
then-
up shoes, which was Tay, and then big guy, which was Jack, because he's like 6'4", 6'5". He's like a literal walking refrigerator. They were like, yo, they're cool. Bring them.
And so they still were iffy about us. But what we won them over is we all went to the club together. We all
Yeah,
went to the
the
club
club
together.
was
We actually
the-
didn't go to the club together. This is another story about CK.
Dude,
The reason we
oh
went
my
to the club
god.
together.
What
That's
a
all story
journey,
is-
bro. What a journey.
Yeah, we ended up at the same club that night, and we went off. Like we tore our group and his group tore up the dance floor. We literally just like owned the dance floor. That was it,
Yeah.
and everybody was watching us. So it's like we were in a movie, and they were all just watching on the sidelines.
They were like
right?
side characters.
They were like side characters, and they even tried to join in on our little circle. And there was one point where like I found a fucking stool. I found a stool somewhere, so I brought it from the booth it was at to the middle of the dance floor. I put like Jack or Shaban. I think it was Shaban.
I think it was
on the chair.
Shaban.
I put
Yeah.
Shaban on the stool. And I gave him a lap dance, and then everybody in the club was cheering. And then when we got up, these two girls, right? These two they tried to steal my thunder, bro.
They tried to. They really
and they
did.
tried to do the same thing, but like nobody was cheering them on. It was all me. Anyways, right? We own that club.
Yeah,
So because it was the best night of our lives, right? All those people who hated us started to be like, okay, maybe these VRChat kids aren't as bad as we think they are. And then I got to know them. They invited me back to their Discord, not knowing that I was the same guy that streamed the Discord. They didn't know.
it was like
They
it had
invited me
like
back.
it was gone from their mind or something.
Yeah,
Or
they completely forgot
they're
about
like, oh, he's the guy with the light up shoes. He's the guy in Vegas that was light up shoes. What am I looking at right now?
I just want to say that this entire time that we've been talking, Gamer,
Oh my
Gamer has
god.
been on the right with her little iPad. She has the world camera, and she's been flipping us off for the past, I want to say 20
She
minutes.
showed us
flipping
her
off.
bald head too. By the way, she had no
She
hair
took
at
her
one
bald-
point.
Yeah, and then she took her socks off, and she was streaming her feet. She was giving us a foot job through the camera.
Yeah. So we just need to take a tactical pause just to throw that out there.
There's a giant, if you can't,
What
you guys
does it
can see
mean?
it, but there's a giant screen like right
Like,
behind
yeah,
the
it's
camera.
huge.
And that iPad that she's holding controls the viewpoint of it. And she's just been flipping us off the entire time.
Was it 3 years ago or 2? I think it's 3
It was
now.
2
2.5?
2.5.
Holy.
Yeah, so like I
Dude,
got to know them.
That's so insane.
I went on a couple trips with them after that too. They do like all these trips.
Yeah, we
right?
do like
So
yearly
I don't know.
trips.
They're actually going to Nashville in like a couple days.
Oh god.
Correct.
Actually? Is it March?
It's March.
Oh my god, yeah, so end of March. Holy.
So they're going
So
to. We're,
in
they're,
a couple
okay,
weeks.
I'll say we are going to March.
He's
We're
gonna
going
try
Nashville
to.
in March. I'm gonna try to. I don't think I can go,
He's
but I'm
gonna
gonna
try
try
to.
to go. If I don't get to go with them in March, I'll go. I'll see them at EDC in
Yep.
November. So it's whatever, right? EDC is a trip that's happening, and a lot of people are going, and that's gonna be one of the best trips of my life. I want to talk about CK for a second. I want to
Okay, we can
backtrack.
talk. All right,
And talk
we'll
about
backtrack.
why we ended up at that club. I met him through Yiddy, so I didn't actually know him personally. I met him through Yiddy's. Found out he lived in Toronto. We met up a couple times. He was cool, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to the Vegas trip, by the way." So he was going to Vegas with us too. So he was in Vegas with us. Yes, gamer. Gamer would like to say something.
Simply Abby asked in chat, what do you guys think you would be doing if you guys never came across VRChat?
Oh god.
Dude, I like that topic. Should I
Oh
get through
my
this
God.
fast, and then we can
All
talk
right,
about that?
go speedrun CK real quick. Abby, just wait.
There's two topics. There's two topics I want to talk about because someone else mentioned that they said you guys any tips for making friends in VRChat.
Mhm.
So I think that's a good topic we can talk about too. Also, put your fucking bald head away.
Gamer, get your hair back. There we go. All right, speedrun
Alright.
CK, and then
It
we'll
was
go to Abby's
EDC.
question.
It was EDC Orlando. EDC Orlando. That's where we're going. That's where we went last year. The past 2 years we've been to EDC Orlando, and we're going again this year.
It's crazy.
Right? I didn't know until the Vegas trip that this kid is a crazy motherfucker.
CK is
I'm pretty
crazy.
sure he smuggled drugs through the airport.
Actually, no.
Okay.
No, he got the drugs after the airport. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. This guy's wild. Like I remember, real quick story. I actually went to British Columbia with him before Vegas because we went from Toronto to British Columbia to meet like two friends for a week, and then we went down to Vegas. And we went from just a nice time at the bars to a beach party in America. Like we hopped the border
What the
of
fuck?
Canada into
I don't
America.
know if you should be like confessing to all your crimes online.
We didn't do it on purpose. We didn't know we hopped the border until our cell service told us, "Hey, congratulations, you're in America. Would you like to try on roaming?" We're like, "How the fuck did we end up in the U.S.?" But yes, we went from Canada to the U.S. on a beach party, a crackhead beach party, and it was wild. It was crazy. But anyways, he is also an asshole at some points, right? We would like lose him somewhere in Vegas and then find him coincidentally somewhere else. Like imagine, right? He's a guy who goes on a trip with you. You lose him. You know where the fuck he went for like a day, and then like the next day you're at a casino and you look behind you and CK's there, like just over your shoulder. Like, where the fuck did you come from? Right? That was CK.
Dude, that's
right?
actually him.
So we only ended up at that club because CK managed to somehow get to the exact same club that Duncan and his friend group were at, Pop, and then invited us to come there. We didn't know that they were there, but he said, "Oh, this club's popping, come here." So we went there, and then they were there, and so that's the story, right? There's more about CK we could talk about. Maybe if we get Duncan on the podcast, we can talk about all the stories about CK, right? But I would like to talk about this topic. Where
did Gamer go?
Where did she go?
Gamer, our host is gone.
What was the topic she brought up?
My internet killed itself.
Gamer, what was the question you brought up?
Like, where would you guys think you'd be if you never discovered VRChat?
Oh, okay. That's a good. Pop, would you like to start this one?
Yeah, I'll start. All right, if I never discovered VRChat, I think I could say this very, very confidently. I would still be with the IRL friend group doing the same exact thing. I just wouldn't be making TikToks. Actually, I would, but it wouldn't be on VRChat. It'd be on like Call of Duty or Valorant.
What the fuck? I just clicked on the seat. Hold on. I look disgusting.
Oh, well.
Hold on, I gotta
turn your seats off, mister.
I can't say for sure where I'd be. I just know that I'd be in a very bad place. That's because COVID happened right when I got in VR, and I'm a very extroverted person. And so I actually okay, this is getting deep. You want to get deep? Do we get deep?
Yeah, go ahead. You can get deep if you want. Yeah, sure.
Right. So I was going through the worst time of my life at that time. I can say quite confidently that I've been through worse times now. But at that time, that was the worst time of my life. I was going through the hardest time of my life because there was a lot of things happening at once. I actually split up with my first ever girlfriend, IRL of a year. No, 3 years. Sorry. We were best friends for 5 years. And then we dated for 3 years, and we split up. And right when we did, COVID happened. So I'm a very extroverted person. COVID happened during the split up of like my first relationship. Leading up to COVID, I was already like separating myself from all my friends for like personal, I guess, depressive reasons. And so when we split up, I realized that I've already separated myself so much, and I felt awkward to reach out to my IRL friends I still had. At the same time, COVID happened. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't. I honestly got into VRChat as like almost like a coping mechanism to still stay active and extroverted socially. So, I mean, I guess that's why I have the hiccups. Because I guess in a way, VRChat did save me. I'm very passionate about this topic because a lot of people have differences of opinions of this game. And I will forever, we were making the joke earlier about like, when someone new joins, you tell them to fucking delete the game, right? Yeah. Stay far away. I understand that point of view. I don't necessarily believe that. I understand that point of view because of everything that's happened on this game for so many people and how it's affected so many people's lives. A lot of the people as well have negative experiences on this game. I'm going to repeat what I said yesterday, by the way, because here.
Is that a growl? What was
that? I feel like, who growled?
Who's that?
Oh, no.
What the heck? Who just growled?
I'm gonna repeat what
technically
I said yesterday.
It wasn't. Listen, for the official recording, it wasn't yesterday. It was last week.
That's why I'm gonna. Well, I'm also going to repeat it because it wasn't an official recording. See, Pop decided yesterday to cut off the recording halfway through. So the podcast recording that's going to be uploaded, on all the platforms of our choosing, doesn't include what I'm about to say. Even though I said it.
So it'll be the first time technically.
It would technically be the first time if you're watching this, me saying this. It was like a podcast 1.5 episode because like we ended the podcast.
I just wanted to keep going.
We just kept going live, but not recording it. But what I'll say is that a lot of people have. Oh my fucking god! Hold on. What the hell is wrong?
What are you? What is that?
As I was saying, a lot of people have negative experiences on this game, right? And that's because of the way that we all play it. So where I'm going with this is that I genuinely appreciate and love VRChat, and I'll always attribute VRChat to a positive change in my life. Even though it has also come with a lot of negative changes, I would still say that the net outcome has been positive. And I'm sorry that a lot of people can't really say the same. I see a lot of my friends on like social media and stuff deleting their Instagram accounts, telling everyone that they're leaving forever and that they've enjoyed their time, but they just have made the decision to leave because they've realized that there's more negative in this game than positive. And what you need to understand is that is never what this game was meant for, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anything that's any sort of social media platform is ever meant, or like the intentions of the developers ever mean to give you a negative experience. This game is not meant for what it is today. You know, what it's turned into, like relationships and drama and negative social experiences, cyberbullying. So, for example, Pop lives in fucking China, right?
what?
Pop lives in China. Sorry, I'm gonna just say California. What the fuck are you doing, gamer?
Okay.
All right. Anyways,
Yeah, I live in China.
Pop lives
I'm
in
in
California.
California.
I can't say that outside of VRChat I'd ever be able to fucking go surfing on a hoverboard with Pop. But I can say that now.
We can't go to the
VRChat.
moon either.
We can't go to the moon,
We can-
right? I can't go to the moon with Pop, but I can in VRChat. And that's what VRChat was meant to be. It was meant to be a platform to give you the experiences that you can never get anywhere else. Those small experiences. And I kind of think, I was going to ask this question to you, Pop, but I want to say that, like,
Yeah, go ahead.
throughout my time of doing TikTok, the meaning of these videos that we do has changed for me. When it started, it was just something fun to do. You know what I mean? It was just like, I've always wanted to like make content, and like Pop comment kind of pushed me into doing it. I could see
I did.
He set an example. He set an example because I see what he was doing, and I liked the way he was doing it. So I was like, you know what? I think I can do that too. And he kind of helped me along the way. When if people were to ask me like, why do you do TikTok? Right? And what is the meaning behind your videos? I think the meaning behind our videos is those moments that
Exactly.
those moments that represent
exactly
what VRChat is
why.
supposed to be. It's the moments that you don't see, but you're supposed to see. Those
Yeah.
moments that like no one really holds on to, but they should hold on to through all the negative. Like I can meet people. I have friends in Germany, Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? China, Japan, and like I can't hang out with them on a daily basis like I could in VRChat. I feel like I'm in the same room as Pop and Gamer right now, even though I don't want to fucking be in the same room as Gamer because
Yeah. Here, wait. Let me hop in real quick. I can go back a little bit. So the IRL friend group, I have always liked recording, and the reason why I like recording, like Tay said, is to keep those memories. I never ever posted until my friends were saying like, why don't you make them public so other people can watch them? I used to make basically funny moments with my friends, and I would just unprivate them. And there's ones that go back 4 years, 5 years, and it's like us playing whatever, you know, game is fun and everything. I kind of took that and brought it over to VRChat. And the reason why I started uploading to TikTok, just to show the memories, it's basically like my TikTok is basically like a memory bank for me. And you know, it just kind of happened to get traction somehow. I don't know how that happened.
Simply, Abby just asked, "What's your favorite thing about your career?" And like, I think that's literally what we're talking about. Is like,
Yeah.
what we do is it'll stand for, if not forever, for a long time to show people what VRChat is supposed to be. When somebody asks you what is VRChat, a lot of people
This
are
is deep.
when you talk to your IRL friends, you try to explain what you do in VRChat. It could be hard sometimes. And so what I've done is I do this where when I try to explain to an IRL friend what VRChat is, I'll show them my TikTok because it kind of just, instead of explaining it, why don't I just show you what it is?
Yeah.
And that. It could be hard to put into words what VRChat is supposed to be, number one, but it could also be hard to put into words what VRChat is. And what VRChat is it is kind of a negative space at times. It could be, honestly, and it's sad to say, but for people who use this as their only source of social experience, it could be detrimental to like their life. You know what I mean? Because if this is your only source of social experience, because a lot of people are like that, they'll have 9-to-5 jobs, they don't really go outside, they work all day, and then the times they have off, they spend on VRChat. You know what I mean? And I'm not making any judgments. That's just the reality of some people's life, right?
You'll end up like Gamer. Like, look at that. You'll end up like that.
We were watching a movie yesterday, right? It was Magic Mike 3. And there was a line in that movie that said, and I don't know how factual this is, but it kind of stuck with me, that social rejection in your brain, right? How your brain reacts to social rejection is almost similar to physical abuse. The way your brain reacts to it,
Yeah.
social rejection is the same as physical abuse. Not the same, but the way your brain, like the brain patterns that happen. That was a line that was
how the brain processes
social rejection is the same as how it processes physical abuse.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that was the line that was in the movie, and I was like, I thought about it for a second. I was like, if that's true, that's kind of crazy. And somebody also said in the chat that like VRChat emulates the meta of what the internet is today. What the internet is today is a negative space. It's meant for a positive space. It's meant to give you positive experiences. It's meant to elevate your life in a positive way, you know, create business connections, opportunities, all that. But what we as people have like turned it into,
we made it like this.
And VRChat emulates that because people are shitty. I mean, I hate to say it, but people are shitty. And so I guess what we do with our videos is we try to show the people what VRChat is supposed to be. Like when
Oh,
you
God.
first look at VRChat, when you get your VR headset and you go to the VRChat Steam page and you look at the fucking trailer of all the people having the time of their lives, right? That's what it's supposed to be, and that's what we try to do. We don't just sit around in front of mirrors all day and drink or party. I mean, we do like partying. Don't get me wrong. I don't drink personally for personal reasons, but I do like partying. I do look in the mirror sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but like we don't, I guess, facilitate that energy that a lot of people do facilitate. Simply Abby said, "Are you scared to be social?" When you first started, were you scared to be social? I was
Hell
not,
no.
because I started this game thinking that, this is a toxic mentality. I understand. But this is the mentality of everybody on this game. That at some point, like my mentality has evolved, because right now I'm at the point where like the way people think about me, I do care. You know what I mean? But when you get into a lot of, and you'll see this in a lot of desktop people as well, which is why deskies don't get the same amount of respect as like full body and half body users.
Yeah.
It's not because we don't respect you or we're trying to ego you. It's literally because it's so easy to just make a fucking alt account, get on desktop mode, and just troll the shit out of people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's
And
facts.
so people are just so tired of, they don't, when you get on desktop mode, and it sucks because a lot of people doing it on desktop mode to have a good experience. But when you're on desktop mode, people just associate you with all the fucking toxic trolls that run around saying the N-word and blasting music, right? And just completely interrupting your conversation in public worlds, right?
Yeah, they just don't care.
They're not egoing you because you're not cool enough like them to own full body or like VR. It's literally just because desktop users are associated with obnoxious actions. Me coming into VR with the mentality that it's just online, I wasn't obnoxious, but I wasn't scared to be social, because at the end of the day, if I see something that you think is completely ridiculous, who gives a fuck? I'm never gonna see you get it. I'm just a hop world, right?
Exactly. I can hop worlds. I'm gone.
I actually went on the game to say ridiculous things. I wasn't obnoxious. I wasn't just like in your face, like saying out of pocket things just for a laugh. But I would say stupid things like,
don't care. You just run up and say, don't care.
No. That's obnoxious. I wouldn't run up and say, don't care. Do we have a conversation? The one time I ever felt awkward was when I met our friend called BitBits. We have a friend named BitBits. So she's been a friend of ours for a while. I haven't really told Pop, but I've told BitBits is that I met BitBits about a year before we actually became friends with her. And it was in a world where I did exactly what I told you I did back then, where I just inserted myself into her conversation. And I thought it was funny, but then I realized that it wasn't funny and I was acting really cringe. So I just walked away, right? And I remember that stuck with me, because when we became friends with BitBits, I brought that up. I was like, dude, remember me? I was that kid.
That's actually so funny. Was this an FPT? Were you just...
No, it was in a Zombie Doll Lounge.
Oh, wait, that was the world with the areas where you, like, it was like the zones of talking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first world that I ever went to that had that, and I was like, whoa, this is awesome.
But I just remember that one specific moment, right? I like acknowledged that this is really cringe, and I was just like, I'm
gonna just head out. I'm gonna head this way.
This didn't work out. This isn't what I thought it would be. So
that's how I was making friends when I first started VRChat, because I had nobody. I literally had nobody. Half body going around as a banana. And one night, I kid you not, I started an army of 20 bananas, and we just hopped worlds and we attacked people.
It is a toxic mentality to go into this game thinking that like you'll never see them again, because lo and behold, I did see them again. The one time I felt like completely fucking ridiculous, I did see them again, but we're friends now. Anyways, if you go to this game with that mentality, you're not gonna have you're number one, you're contributing to the toxic space of VRChat that I mentioned earlier, as well as you're not gonna have the experience that you're supposed to have on this game in desktop or in VR, right? Because desktop, I have some good friends to this day that I met in desktop. For example, Northern. She makes avatars now. I met her when she was in desktop, and I spent a lot of time with her while she was in her desktop days, and I watched her progress through to half body to full body. It is possible for those desktop users out there. Like, you can make friends, and you can make
you
friends
can do this.
You go on trips with, right? My first ever friend group, we had this friend, her name was Sublime. She was in desktop for, I want to say, 80% of our friendship. A lot of them don't really get on VRChat anymore, so like, that's why I'm stuck with this fucking loser. But like,
hello.
VRChat can be a beautiful place, but a lot of people can make it ugly. Like, that's basically
the surroundings. That's where it's who you surround yourself with, and it's really what you make it.
Do you have any tips for being, more social in VR? How do you make friends? Let's hear you. Let's hear you say it, Pop. You better get your fucking ass ready, because I'm gonna ask you next.
I don't know how I was doing it before, because I normally never will start conversations, and never. I still don't actually. We have like Tay will make like new groups of friends. He can confirm this. I literally will not want to talk to them, because I just I just don't. I just don't. I'm actually
This is a horrible idea.
once I'm comfortable, then I'm good. But like
This is a horrible idea because I realize that Pop doesn't care about anything because Pop's life right now is full of content.
yes,
He is
I
completely
am.
happy
I am full
living
of
the rest of
content.
his life of where he is at now.
If all of my friends right now, if I
We're
had them for
dead.
the rest of my life, no,
Oh.
gamer, no,
It's
not
the
if they
it's
passed
the
away,
reason
no.
it's the reason he's never been in a relationship because he
Yes.
just doesn't see a need for it.
I
He
do
just-
not. Hey, wait a minute. Put the camera back on me. Put the camera. Wait,
Okay,
why am I
let's put
switching
the
my
camera.
camera? He's right. Is it zoomed in on me? He's
Listen,
right.
listen,
It's so true. Oh my god, it's so
listen.
bad.
For people who want a relationship out there, right? You go through this phase like during puberty or high school, right? Where you start getting attracted to whatever sex you're attracted to and like thinking about all that stuff. And then you maybe delve into it a little bit, have your experiences, negative or positive. Pop never went through that.
Yeah,
Now
no.
he's at the point where because he's never been through it,
I think
he
I'm
doesn't see a need to
broken.
go through it. He just doesn't see a need to. He's so happy with his
I
life.
think I'm broken.
There's no need. Yeah, maybe life could get better with a relationship, but what's the fucking point? Because he's already happy.
The high school phase where it's like, oh, dude, I want to date a girl, or like, I think that girl's really pretty. Like, I want to take her out. Literally, I went home. I was with the boys. I was with the boys, and we were playing Minecraft
Motherfucker-
all night long.
The motherfucker get in his feelings for fucking 0.5 seconds, and then realize, oh yeah, but Minecraft. Let's go, the motherfucking boys.
Now, like movies and animes will get me in my feels, but that's about it.
But yeah, so that goes back to why he doesn't really make friends in VR anymore. The only friends
making friends is hard. I'm not
the
gonna
only
lie.
friends he'll make are like the ones that I introduce him to,
That's
or
basically how
people-
it is. Yeah.
or people who come up to him, who approach him first.
And
He
even if
puts
you
no
approach
effort.
me, honestly, I might be a little scared to talk to you.
Just know that he's not putting effort in not because he's like an egotistical piece of shit, but because he's just happy.
Deep down
Enough.
inside, it's low key scary. And that's why I said that I don't know how I was running around as a banana, just inserting myself into conversations. Like if someone was talking about anime, honestly, I'd just be like, hey, what is that anime about? I don't know how I was doing it, but I think
Well,
it was
I have,
like
I have an answer for this, but first I want to hear from Gamer.
yeah.
Hi.
Hi gamer. Sorry we've been we've been
just
talking
here.
a lot.
I've been eating.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good to know you're eating. All
All
right, gamer. Making friends. How to do it? What's the move? What like tips?
Oh, tips, bitch. I don't know.
What?
I
do you
make
mean?
friends all the time. I
Okay,
introduce you guys to random people. I just walk up to people and start a conversation.
You guys keep fucking saying, hold on, let me turn these chairs off because I turned them on again. I'm really mad.
Intermission. These chairs are ruining everything.
Listen. Let me speak up for everybody in chat right now, okay? The person who asked this question asked, "How can I make more friends in VRChat?" Right? And the answers that you've just given me,
Oh,
or you
that
just
was
do it.
what Pop
right? You
was.
just do it. You just be more social, right? You just have to
I-
be. This is not the question or the answer they're looking for to this question.
Right.
Because
Okay, actually, here I'll
I'm
do
sure-
a cut. I'll do a huge giant
I'm
cut.
sure-
Everything I've said, I'll just throw it out.
I'm sure that this question that they've just asked us has been asked many times, right? Or they have maybe
Yeah.
been asked this many times, and they've probably received the same answer that we just gave them.
All right, we
That
need to
you
give them
just-
something different. Okay.
You need to give them like
Be
details
yourself.
or like advice. You know what I mean? Not just like oh, be yourself. Or
Okay.
you just
All right.
put
Back
yourself
to
out
me.
there.
Back to me.
How do you put yourself out there, Pop
Okay.
Shooter?
You just gotta be yourself. Listen, you just gotta listen. If you want to make new friends, here's the strategy, and this is this is the cheat code. You go into a public world. You don't talk to anyone. You sit there and you listen for like 5 minutes, right? If their conversation, if there's something that interests you, you can hop into it because you have an interest or you have knowledge about it, right? So sitting and listening to people talk, it might sound creepy, but listen. This is how I met Tay, dude. He's playing music. I heard the music. I walked over. I watched him wiggle or I watched him shuffle, and then I unmuted that microphone. I said, "That is so cool." And then he did the rest.
Hey! Round of applause! Round of applause for Pop Shooter.
Play the thing. Play the sound. Play the sound.
It's playing. You can't hear it, but it's playing.
Oh, okay.
When you edit this podcast, you're gonna have to put in I'll send you the audio file.
I'm telling you, like that because I used to do it. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I used to do that. I would just sit there and just listen.
So I know it could be very scary in real life and even in VR chat to be social. To be social, you can get the same amount of social anxiety that you would IRL. And a lot of people might make fun of you for that, but I wouldn't judge you because it's literally the same thing. Social anxiety anywhere is social anxiety. But you need to remember, number one, that you do have a little bit of an advantage because they don't actually know the real you. And you could always, I mean, I told you the story earlier, right? How they'll never see you again, but then coincidentally I ran into the same person that I had an awkward encounter with.
What is Gamer doing?
Realistically, if you have a bad encounter with someone, you don't necessarily have to worry about ever seeing them again. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's that freak accident that Gamer.
Gamer, please compose yourself. We're talking about advice right now, and you're crawling around on all fours.
You guys have shoved me in here. I woke up 3 hours ago. I have so much energy. I'm just here like, this is fine.
Listen, hey, if you see people on all fours in a public world, hop on all fours too. There you go.
Start barking like a dog. Join them.
Yep, join them. Why not?
More often than not, because because this game is literally meant for social interaction. Can you imagine two people having a social interaction? You want to join them in social interaction, and then they ego you. To me, that's them not playing the game right.
Hey, that's the wrong group too. I'm just gonna throw that out. That's the wrong group.
If anybody makes you feel socially rejected or egos you, they're playing the game wrong, and you're the one playing it right. And just go next. It's not a you thing, it's a them thing. Because this is literally a social game. There's no such thing as egoing someone else. If you want to have a private conversation with someone, you go to a private world or you go to a private call. If there are people in a world having a good time, don't be afraid to join them because that's what this game is for. And because that's what this game is for, they're going to recognize that. If they're on all fours barking like a dog, like this dumb fuck over here, join them.
What is she doing?
And you'll realize that the shit that they're doing and the shit that you're doing.
Dude, what?
You having a good time?
What is wrong? What is wrong with you?
You'll realize more often than not that it's just as acceptable that you're barking on all fours like a dog, like they are.
Yeah.
That's my advice. Next time you want to make friends, you eyeball them, you get on all fours, you run after them, and you bark at them like a dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. If you want to make friends, all fours, bark, attack. And then if they run away, well, hey, that's how we became friends with Visibly.
As long as your mindset and your intention for whatever you do in this game, as long as your mindset and intention is a positive experience, the people you try to give that positive experience to will pick it up. Even me with my socially awkward ass, where I make awkward situations for everybody around me, right? Because I think it's fucking hilarious to do that. I do it all the time, right? Even they pick up what I'm putting down. I'll be the most awkward motherfucker to you, just to make it awkward for the laugh. And more often than not, I've realized
what was that?
People. Did you just burp in the mic?
Was that a hairball? What was that?
A burp.
Oh my god. How you guys doing tonight, by the way? I forget that this is live. Like I'm kind of sitting here like this, but like I could pull up the chat and say, what's up?
Gamer, would you like to give any advice on this topic?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
This girl's burping up a storm. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about this host, ladies and gentlemen. She's burping, barking, all fours. See, like, Gamer, we're friends with Gamer. How did that happen? Who knows?
I don't know, man. I just run up to people and make some dumbass conversation. I could talk about their group, their bios. I've walked up to people and asked them about the weirdest shit in their bios. Yeah. Just things about them, like, why? Let me talk about my card. Let me talk about my link.
Go ahead.
All right, go.
So I'm making a link, like, kind of card tree, We're going to have, you can see where the YouTube is for any episodes from the past. Tay's TikTok's on there for when we go live or post little snippets of our podcasts. I'll have everybody's Instagrams. And then I also have 2 forums. One is for questions we may ask you guys to answer, like your stories or just one-word questions or answers, and also confessions and stories for us to react to, give input on some of your guys' shit that has been going on or that has happened.
The title of the episode will be Confessionals with SENTRY.
Dude, this is gonna be fire.
We want to get I've been this entire time. You guys have been talking to us in chat. Asking us questions. You talking about the topics we're talking about. I want to give a platform for all of you to give in your questions. It could be questions that you need advice about, or just things you'd like to say to us, or just like topics of discussion, right? Or questions for us. You send them in. Sentry will read them, and he'll do his best to give you all the advice you need.
Dude, this is such a good idea.
I'll be there too.
Sentry.
We'll call it. It'll be. We'll make it an episode, right? And then if it does well, we'll make it like a little section of the podcast. Like, oh, it's time for confessionals.
Sentry's
confessionals.
Sentry advice.
For the confessions, we should just do a form because I feel like it'd be more like in.
A form's perfect. A Google
yeah,
form,
because
right?
like only we would be able to see it, not like the whole fucking
yeah.
Discord to know about this shit, and it would just
So we'll make it private, so like you'll not be confessing to everybody, and we'll make it anonymous if you want it to be anonymous.
We should make it anonymous. Just start it off. Like,
the Discord is discord.gg/clipkids, one word, CLIPKIDS, no caps, right? And join there, and then from there we'll be able to announce the confessionals, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Sentry will be reading them and doing his best to give you advice.
Yeah, we'll have a little setup.
We've already locked him in. Sentry, you're doing this. I don't know if you're here.
We'll have him set up right over there to do it. Right at the little vanity table.
Is it true that your best friend is your world?
Cupid's my world.
Listen, the world is your bathroom, okay?
What? So your best friend's your bathroom?
You want to add there's a lot of stuff that we could talk about, but I feel like we could talk. Because someone asked, right? You have a lot of haters, and I feel like that's a whole topic in itself. We can talk about that another time, right? I feel like I'll end it with this story, right? This story of the world is your bathroom. See, a lot of people like to ask, how did you convince Pop to do that?
If you guys are wondering what he's talking about a video he made on his TikTok. Hey, actually on the video here, I'll play it for you guys right now.
Bro, I really need to use the bathroom.
Bro, the world is your bathroom. What the fuck? Bro, what the hell?
You're my world, bro.
Bro.
If you're watching this live, the video he's talking, or the person's talking about, is my latest video. I think it's my latest video.
It is your
on TikTok, and in this video, I literally pee in Pop's mouth.
Yes, he does.
And everyone is talking about or asking, how did you convince him to do that? See, I didn't convince him to do anything. I lied to him. I told him that I need. What I did is
I need a water gun.
I said I need a world with a water gun.
A world
and I
with a
need
water
you.
gun.
I need you to lie back and just let me. And then I told him to lie down. I sprayed the water gun in his mouth. I recorded me spraying the water gun in his mouth. I didn't tell him why I was doing it. I just told him that I had a really good TikTok idea, and he just went for it.
Yeah,
after I sprayed the water gun in his mouth, then I told him the first scene we recorded for that TikTok was me spraying the water gun in his mouth. After I did that, I told him what it was. I said, "Listen, you're already in it now. You did the worst part, right? You might as well,
the hard part's over. Now it's time. Now I can tell you the concept of the video.
I can tell you the concept of the video, and you just say the lines. That's it. That's all you're doing. I already peed in your mouth. It's over. You don't do that again, right? And that's how it went. See, the thing is I had an idea. I said, listen, I could probably convince Sentry to do it because Sentry would do it.
He's about it.
Sentry's down for anything, right? So worst case scenario, plan B, if Pop doesn't want to do it, I'll just get Sentry to do it. But I thought it'd be funnier if I got Pop to do it. So I just lied to him and I told him. And then
he lied. He literally did not tell me anything.
And then at that point, he was just like, "Oh, I'm in it now, I guess."
Just know the sounds in those videos are real.
Those are real sounds. We literally had Sentry gargle water. Gargle water on mic. We don't use sounds. We make all our even this applause sound. Where is it? I'm gonna play it.
We went out and recorded that on the streets.
This was recorded.
We went out in the streets.
I also want to shout out Skippy. Skippy has been like one of our biggest supporters since the beginning of time. Hi, Skippy. Skippy's in the chat.
Skippy is
the GOAT.
The most consistent. There's a lot of people that are very consistent, but Skippy is very, very, very. Skippy was there for our very first live stream on Twitch.
Yes, they were.
And probably the first. I don't know if Skippy was the first.
I would say our two biggest supporters that we met through our fan base would be Skippy and Mama Shybug.
Yeah.
You don't know if you guys know them. And Binks as well. Skippy, Mama Shellbug, and Binks. And I think
There's a
another-
lot of people that are really
another
like,
name, another
consistent.
name that I like to shout out for me and my TikTok is Angel. I see her like literally in almost every live stream. She's always here. Well, I think it's a good time to end.
All right.
Good spot to end at.
Well,
We are going to record these and upload them on some sort of platform. We'll probably do funny moments as well on another TikTok account.
yep.
I know we have a lot of ideas.
We dude, listen, we have just entered a whole new world.
Simply Abby, hello. Simply Abby also is someone who supported me on TikTok
Abby,
a lot.
Abby,
But
you are very consistent.
You're a newer face, Simply Abby. I have been seeing you a lot, but you're a newer face.
Thank you for joining us on our second episode of Clipcast.
Wait,
Stand,
do
sit
it again.
still.
Oh, okay,
Sit
okay,
still.
okay.
You got this.
Because
Thank
the
you for
camera wasn't even
joining
on you.
us on
Wait,
our
hold on,
second
hold on. Shh,
episode.
shh,
Oh my god.
Okay, go.
Thank you for joining us on our second episode of Clipcast. We hope to see you next time. And bye!
Bye, everyone. Say bye, Pop.
I just saw Sorry
Bye.
Chat. Oh my god, I